Welcome to my allotment diary of my plot in East Sussex. This is the last 3 days of March, and I've been accused by my family that all I seem to do is pass. Now, don't you grow anything, Dad? Yes, I do. And these are the brassicas that I'm protected from the rats. Now that I think the rat problem is solved, I'm now planting them into the brassica bed. As it's the end of the month, I'm going to do my customary plot tour, which is for my diary, and then I can look over the successive years, see what I did at the end of March last year and compare it with where I am at the end of March next year. But before I do that, I did promise myself that I would finish the first half of the annex plot by 50% by the end of March. So the end of March was spent sorting the gate out. Now this piece of ground has never ever been cultivated since the allotment was here. So all that's ever happened to this area is people walking over it. So this ground was really compressed. So I levelled it off and straightened the slabs up, which were here before I built the gate. So I squared them up and then I reduced the level down. I'll just show the area in front of the flags being levelled, and you've seen me put the wood chip down before, so you know what I do, and it will save time or viewing time. But the border I put there is to give me an idea of the depth. You need a minimum of 3 inches for wood chip to work successfully. So I'm just chipping away at here. This is the wood chip down, right up to the gate, the 50%, and this is the plot looking south, and this is another view, but this time looking north, just to give you some idea. I had a length of 6x2, which had been lying around in the shed for about 3 years, so I thought, it's getting in the way, I've got a good use for it. So it would make a good edging for the remaining 50% of the annex plot. So I dug out the trench, put in the peg and levelled the timber. Just squaring the end of the peg so that when I put the next board down, running the right angles, it'll fit square. I've shown this tip before, but for new viewers to my channel, I'm blunting the end of the nail. What this does, it stops it splitting the wood. If you don't blunt it, the nail is sharp and it's like the prow of a boat, which parts the waves. So when it's sharp, it parts the fibres in the timber, thereby splitting it. By blunting it, you push the wood out of the way, and hopefully you don't get a split. Also, don't forget to put a heavy hammer behind the peg to eliminate the bounce, which is always a good tip. At the other end, I stitch the nails through the timber at an angle into the post, and this also gives a strong joint. A stitched nail is stronger than one that's nailed direct in square. Works similar to a dovetail. I mentioned before about these pesky pheasants. At this time of the year they're like rutting stags. They're a nuisance. I can now concentrate on weeding around the gooseberry bushes, which are looking quite healthy. A number of people commented on the clay soil on the other side that I did last week. Well, when I planted these gooseberries, I put in plenty of manure, and it's paid off. The soil is quite crumbly and there's some pretty big worms in there, and the weeds are coming out a lot easier than if it was a hard clay. But it gets worse when I get past the gooseberry bushes, believe you me. Well, this is the end of March. Today is the 31st of March, and this is as far as I got with the weeding of the gooseberry bushes. Just a small bit to do, which I'll finish off tomorrow. And what I'll do now is I'll get on with the plot tour. These brambles are a nuisance as well, and they've got to come out. This is the April 1st or March 31st, whichever you want to make it, plot tour. But it records the State of the Union as of now. We'll start at the annex, and I think we've seen this before, but that square bed there is where the sweet corn are going to go. There we've got the autumn sown onions and the garlic. That's where the shallots are going to go. And I've got a fig tree, I've got a blackberry bush, and I'm going to put 2 blueberries in there, and we'll see how we go. This side here is where I'm working. I've started on the second half, on the southern half of the annex, getting the weeds out, and I will do that the same way as the other plot at the north end. Gooseberries well in leaf, but I need to do a Monty Don on them and cut them down with a globe shape. I've got loads of weeds in here. I haven't a clue what raspberries I've got, whether they're autumn or the summer in there. There's brambles growing, and there's a stack of bindweed, all got to come out. Up to here, and that's the last fence post I did, and I'll start on those 3 fairly soon. Okay, this is the first early potatoes, Nadine. First early potatoes, International Kidney. Nothing coming through yet. The buckets there is some early rocket, 6 in there, and they've just started to come through. Here we have my pea bed, which at the moment's got parsley, which my wife likes. She makes a lot of fish and parsley sauce. Some spring onions from last year, There we've got some chard which will go, and swinging over to the broad beans, aqua dulce, which I'm quite pleased with. On my left here we've got red currants, which seem to be doing quite well. Over there. And here we've got the leaf mould, which is rotting down quite well. To say that there was 3 bags of leaf mould in there, and it's all rotted down. This bin is empty except for some tools, but mainly plastic bags, which you always need somewhere to keep those. The garden compost, I started to put some green waste in there. There's grass cuttings, and here we've got the manure and that wonderful 6X, and that needs filling up. Here we've got the rhubarb, which is doing well, which I got there, and the spare strawberries, which I've fed, cleared. I need to do the same to these strawberries. These need feeding and clearing. The broad bean bed, that hole is where a wandering raspberry grew. I'm having that problem all the time, and there's one coming up over there as well. What a pain this. Here we've got what's going to be in the parsnip bed. I was just waiting to get going in there. Here's the brassica bed, where I've got quite a few brassicas in, which don't seem to be doing too badly now. We've cured the rat problem. Last year's strawberries, more of those raspberries which I have no idea what I've got. And this is just a desolation area in there, and that's the last third of the allotment that I've got to do. All that fence down there needs doing. So that's my plot tour. Finishing up there with the raspberries, good view, and at the side of them I've got some weeds, and hiding the weeds is some white currants. They're red currants. Well, that's the end of March. It's now April, another month. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please comment, and if you like, give a thumbs up, but most of all, please comment. Bye.